Hey everyone, welcome back to Poker Market Lab. Today we're looking at Shrouded Fable, and specifically I wanted to talk not just about Shrouded Fable, but how we come up with our thesis about buying Pokemon sealed product for investment. And the reason I say that is this is a set, it's not a great set, I'm going to say that right off the bat, I'm not going to change your mind on that, but I want to make sure that you're not just following the masses in terms, not even following the masses, but following the PokeTubers, the loud voices online that say, oh, this is a bad product, this is not investable, so on and so forth. I want you to make sure that you're coming up with your own thesis when you're spending your hard-earned money to buy product, either for opening, collecting, or investing. So this product came out in August of this year, and if you remember back, there was the only news we really got of this product was the fact that it was delayed. That was really the only fanfare associated with it, and this has just gotten beat up since. Look at the price here. We are seeing you're getting these easily on TCG Player for $30, never mind elsewhere for cheaper. And that's why I really wanted to focus on this product specifically, because there are very many times in the Pokemon TCG hobby, collecting hobby, and investing hobby where products have been depressed in price that actually had some decent value inside of them in terms of artwork, and it was really effective. People just not looking at that product at the time, and as we went further down the road in time, people started realizing, oh hey, this isn't as bad as I thought, and it was actually a really good opportunity to pick up a product for really cheap. How often can you pick up ETVs at $30 a pop? Now, this may not be that set. Again, it's not just that Shrouded Fable is depressed in pricing. Is it a good buy? You should be making that. You shouldn't listen to anyone else about your purchasing decisions except yourself. I don't care if it's Rudy. I don't care what PokeTuber you're listening to. Form your own thesis about a product. That could be as simple as just looking at the art and saying, what are people missing here? I think it's great art, and that's your opinion, right? The market is still what matters at the end of the day, but if something has really good art, it could be overlooked. It absolutely could be overlooked, especially from an investment standpoint. If it seems cheap, people will write it off right then and there if the product is cheap, and think, well, if not everyone likes it, then why should I invest in it, right? The point is, always look where other people aren't looking. When other people are greedy, be fearful. When others are fearful, be greedy. And I can't tell you how many times that's worked well for me. It's worked well for others, and it has meant, especially in the bear market that we're kind of leaving here. It had meant tremendous opportunity to pick up products that are worth double or triple now when they were all being written off. All right, let's go and look at the total value in the card set here. There are worse sets than Shrouded Fable. I just want to put that right off the bat. Objectively, there are worse sets than, you got Shining Fates, Pokemon Go. I actually think there's some decent artwork in Pokemon Go, but from a value standpoint, absolutely there are worse. They're a lot better too. But again, just keep in mind, you have to, when you're talking about this kind of stuff, you have to think about the context of everything. You have to think about the context of the art, okay? So the art could be really, really great, but the price is just so astronomical for a box, it doesn't make sense, or the singles, right? Or you could have a box that's really, really expensive, but it's just expensive because there's less boxes. The artwork's not great, right? You have to look at the context of everything. Is Shrouded Fable a terrible set at $30 in ETB? My assumption here, my personal opinion is that it isn't. For $30, for $50 in ETB, it's too expensive. $30, that might be worth a little bit of a pickup here, at least a couple boxes. I don't know that I would want to miss out entirely on this one. And let's take a look at the artwork in the set. There's definitely some decent artwork here, especially for what I like. Very clean stuff. You got, the problem here is that it's not that we have a lack of good art, it's that we have a lack of good art with good Pokemon. I think that's the thesis here. It's not I'm not saying it's the best art ever, but I'm saying if we had some decent Pokemon with this art, I think this would have been a different story. And we're not seeing people completely shrug off the set, right? There's still value here. Look at some of these cards here. We have multiple cards in the $50, $60 range, even in the $20 and $30 range as well. Let's continue to look at the artwork here. Again, there's plenty to look at here. It's just unheard of Pokemon. That's really the problem here. But people are picking up the singles. The ETB is cheap, and I think this could be a good play to pick up like the Pokemon Center ETB. If like you don't want to get that, the regular ETB is going to be in stock for a long period of time. It's going to remain depressed in pricing. There's nothing special to it, right? And maybe this is an opportunity to pick up the Pokemon Center version that's still relatively cheap, and that way it's a little special. You're getting into the game, so to speak, so that if there's any run up in price, you have something in play, right? So again, we have some okay artwork here. Again, it's just nothing crazy. There's no super chase, and I don't know that it's deserving of a $30 price point right now. And again, we have some okay pricing. There's really the demand's okay. We're selling on average a few a day here for the past month. Most prices are relatively flat. Cassiopeia I think is a fantastic art. I like that one. Earthen Vessel's beautiful in person. Couple of really good basic energies here, but everything again it's just very flat. There's just nothing super spectacular about it, but it's holding up okay. Like the ETBs are selling, the artwork selling. We're selling top 6, top 8, top 10 of the set. It is moving. It's just not moving at any substantial rate, and I think a lot of this is just it got forgotten, right? I mean, you had Twilight Masquerade released before this as well. This was released, it was actually delayed. And it doesn't have anything to pop through any of the really good sets that are happening around it. And let's kind of go over our thinking on this one here. Again, is Shrouded Fable a good pickup? It's an ETB, you have to, think about your storage space and things like that. If this is going to do anything long term, it is going to take a long time. This is not I don't think anyone should be thinking about a 3 to 6 month investment or flipping. That's not what we do here. Not on this channel. That's not my personal ethos. But long term, this would take 5 years to appreciate. But I wouldn't ignore it completely. I don't know that I would ignore any set completely. Me personally, I like to have some kind of iron in the fire, so to speak, for every single set, even if that's one ETB. And that helps me just kind of, if there's a run up or anything like that, it helps me kind of hedge my bet against that, missing out on that. So. And the point here is just to look where others aren't looking. Don't just go with what the big talking head is saying, even whether that's Rudy or anyone else. It's great to get myself even included in this. It's great to get some information. It's great to learn. But no matter what, whether you're new with this hobby, you've been doing it for 5 years, 10 years, whatever, stop and come to your own conclusion. Look at the artwork of the set. Keep your ear to the ground. Listen to what people are saying. Don't just use that as your own determination, though. Make your own thesis. Is the artwork good? Is the box and the price on the box compared to other sets? Does it make sense? Is it depressed? Is the market discounting this too much at the moment? And make your determination. And it should fit some kind of ethos for you in terms of your pricing structure. You should have some kind of plan. And I really cautioning people against investing emotionally, if at all possible. It's hard, right? Because we're investing in something that we like. And I think there are very few people who are investing in this product and keeping it for 5 to 10 years that don't love it in some way, shape, or form, right? And I think only time can really fix that emotional connection to it, to the point where you can love it, but when the value of it goes up and down on the left and right, you don't care about it at that point. You've disassociated what you like about it from the price of it. And in order to get to that point, you really just have to have gone through a bear market where everything was depressed. And in that time, you're like, I'm allocating capital to pick up as much of this as possible because I believe in it, because I have an emotional attachment to the IP. That's okay. Don't have an emotional attachment to the price. Also, be greedy when others are fearful. When people are really focused elsewhere, that could mean there's some really good opportunities. Remember, people were picking up Scarlet. I was picking up Scarlet and Violet heavily when people were looking at Sword and Shield. Heavily. We were seeing boxes of every single set come out under $100. Now, that's not going to happen going forward, for sure. But I was picking up every single box of Scarlet and Violet Air under $100. Every single one of them. And that's because I had my ear to the ground. I was listening to what was going on, but not just looking where everyone else was looking. Okay. Us on the PokeTubes, us on the Facebook groups, so on and so forth. We are not the masses for Pokemon. We are not what most people are doing when they're buying. They're going, it's an impulse purchase at a store. They go to Walmart, their local game store, GameStop, and they pick up a couple ETBs on release day. And that's as in-depth as they get, but they do it consistently, right? Most people are not as plugged in as what we are, right? So don't just listen to those us on the PokeTubes, right? On Discords and all these places. I know there's a lot of us, but it's Pokemon is millions of people. Nostalgianomics talks about this all the time. It's, that's obviously, if that were the case, there'd be millions of views on these videos, and they're not, right? So again, just do your research. And price context is really, again, is $30 for this compared to like $30 for a Scarlet Violet base set. Which one's better? I think Shrouded Fable might be better at that $30 price point. Again, subjectively here, but so just don't just discount it because of the price, because it's cheap. That does not mean it's worth nothing. Everything has its value at the right price. Everything. That's it. We'll see you for the next one.